This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
I'm not giving up.
I am selling the building.
The final season of FX's The Bear.
The restaurant is flooded.
Everything's either going to be okay.
No, stop.
Or not.
We are outgunned and we are outmanned, but we have each other.
FX's The Bear, the final season. All episodes now streaming on Disney+.
And we're back with me, Johnny McMurray, on the On The Spot Football Podcast for yet another fantastic guest. Tonight's guest is a referee at the highest level in NIFL, and he's just about to make his move to England to hopefully be the new Mike Oliver. It's my pleasure to introduce Jamie Robson. Jamie?
How are you?
This has been a long time coming.
It has. I think we've rescheduled about 5 times.
And I was late tonight by like a half hour, so I apologise.
I know.
I tried.
I was just thinking there, you've just had Jared Lawler on, now you've got me on. You're on a slippery slope here of controversial figures. You'll have Jimmy Bryson on next week.
Good thing is you're allowed to leave.
Well, I know.
And Bryso's up in court and everything, so he could be on. Do you know what I mean?
No, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
No, well, listen, thank you so much. There's a lot to talk about. Refereeing, life around it all, the business, and then obviously the potential move to England on the horizon. So, all very interesting, but it's obviously lovely to have you here. You're looking smashing as always.
No, I thought that about you whenever you walked in, to be fair.
Well, I'm
so you got in before me.
You've obviously had that skin pampered and all.
Oh, I'll give you the routine after.
Good moisturiser. But listen, like, one of the biggest things I have to ask you, right, and you've obviously refereed games that I've been involved in. You've probably called me X, Y, and Z, and I probably called you X, Y, and Z, but there's always been a nice relationship to what we have. But why refereeing? Because there's so much stick you get. You deal with dickheads like me all the time shouting at you on a Saturday, and like, what made you want to do that?
I don't know, and it is a question I get asked all the time, and I think the more I get asked it, the more I do start to think about it, and I actually don't have an answer. I don't, because people do ask me that every week, even at games just here, and I don't know, because you do go through games and things happen and you're getting abuse and you're reading stuff online and you're like, they ask me why I do this, and I genuinely don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's something I sort of fell into, and I think most people end up like that. They fall into it not really expecting much from it, and then they continue doing it. They maybe find they enjoy it, or they're good at it, or both, and then they stay in it. They do well, progress, and it's a career now. There's opportunities for, refereeing full time, depending on where you are, internationally and whatnot. So I think it's more viewed it can be viewed as a career now. So it's not just it can be a hobby, and it is a hobby for a lot of referees. But I think that's where I've kind of viewed it, and I do enjoy it. But there's times, don't get me wrong, and I'm sure other referees spoke to you do come in on a Saturday and think, why on earth do I do this?
Yeah.
But there's good times. There's more good times than bad times. It's probably the same as playing. You can maybe tell me.
It's actually the opposite for us. There's probably usually, unless you're like Linfield or Larne at the minute, you're enjoying most weeks. Whereas if you're not, you're struggling.
I actually can't think of any times I have refereed you. I don't know whether you can remember any, but
not off the top of my head.
Nothing stands out.
They're in there. Like, not that we've done anything wrong.
No,
probably.
But that's probably a good thing, because if there was something,
we've both done our jobs.
We'd remember it.
Roy Keane just there to do your job.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's it. Kind of fell into it, and I've been doing it 18 years. See, whenever I tell people I've been doing it 18 years, they look at me like, what the hell? What age did you start at?
You don't look that young, like.
Well, I know, but so they're trying to work it out. But it was 13 when I started, right. So it's mad young. So I don't see many people.
But like at 13, like most people are wanting to play football.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So like, did you play?
I did for like 2 years,
right?
And I enjoyed it. I think I was just in the wrong team. I was in an awful team, but it's probably the only team. It's probably the only team that I could get into. Okay. So maybe I was just terrible. But
you were shit.
I was shit. Let's be honest. I was shit. I'm saying I was in the wrong team because I could have been this footballer, but no. In reality, was never going to do anything based on those 2 years. I know it's very difficult to tell, but I mean, I was never going to play Irish League, I was never going to play a championship, anything like that. So, there is part of me that not regrets. I think if I could have done both early doors, I would have played and refereed, and I probably could have done that for 2 or 3 years, and then got to a point where I had to decide, right, I need to do one or the other because they were kind of at the same time on a Saturday. Because I probably did miss out on a few years there playing with friends at school and stuff, and not developing those relationships. But saying that, I met other referees and joined other things and got opportunities to go and referee different places. So I've made friends that way.
Yeah.
But I probably missed out a wee bit there because I was doing something so different to everyone else, and nobody really got it at that stage. And I think it was probably once maybe got to 16, 17, 18 that people started to get it, because I was starting to do better games, and they could see I've done it now for 3 or 4 years, and there is actually something to it, you know.
The progression's quite rapid for yourself. Like, you're kind of going through the leagues at a tremendous pace, and obviously it's because you're talented at it. You're very good at what you're able to do in the middle of a park. And
depends who you ask.
Well, exactly. Well, everyone has their opinions, you know what I mean? But in terms of what we're doing and the league and the structure of how it is and the way football's progressed over a lot of years, like, you've been probably one of the most recognisable faces, probably because you're that young to be doing it.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't many people that were coming into refereeing at such a young age to actually be at an elite level.
Yeah. It's probably changed, I think, worldwide in the last probably 10 years, in terms of your typical referee's not that old, overweight man, you know, that's 50 odd in the middle of a park. That's still the case in some places, but it's not what people see as a referee now. That they want referees to look like players. They want it to. It's all about image, I think, for especially like UEFA, FIFA, and all these top leagues. So I think being a younger referee now, you'll have way more opportunities than you probably would have in the past. I was probably unique in the fact that I even started at that age, given it was 2008.
Yeah.
So I was kind of battling a wee bit against the wave in terms of like trying to prove that I could do something that hadn't really been done before in terms of progressing from that age. So it was difficult then, and it's funny because when I started at that age, I just wanted to get further and further, sooner and sooner. So I wanted to be doing the Irish League at 18. You know, in my head, I was thinking, God, this is taking forever. And in reality, I look back and think it wasn't. And I wish actually I'd spent longer at each level, because I don't know how it would have made me different to what I am today, but there was never any rush. Because I can look back now in hindsight and go, I started at 13. Nobody was starting at 13. Why was I in such a rush to get to the next level, when it only maybe would have impacted my ability then at a future level, because I was maybe going to a level that I wasn't ready at. And that certainly happened to me. I got promoted to intermediate at, now you think amateur league, like tough games. I was 17, and I was going in to do Dunmurray Rec.
Yeah, I just think that's like,
it's nuts.
You're just going to be abused by men.
I shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have been 100%. There. And it's probably a fault on the system that I got promoted that quick. I don't know what the balance was there of referees at intermediate at the time, but I should have been nowhere near it. I can remember going to games. Now, I wouldn't say I was like shitting myself going into the games, but I was a 17-year-old, you know, calling in two captains, like mid 30s,
underneath
mid 30s, like family, you know, mortgage, and they've been around the block, maybe played in the Irish League and then came back down. I'm like, how do I try and gain their respect here? Like, you're really working against it from the very, very start. Now it's different, you know. I'm a bit older and you have a bit more credit in the bank, but you're going there as a kid and people are looking at you going, what the hell are you doing here? What are you going to do? Are you going to tell me what to do? And it was so difficult, so challenging. And
at that level, are you kind of just, are you there by yourself?
Yeah.
Like, there's no linos.
I'm rocking up. I'm getting a lift. because I'm not driving. It's nuts.
Mum's dropping me off there.
I'm still doing lessons. I'm like, here, Mum, just drop
Drops you in.
Drop me
I
off.
get a lesson in before we start here.
No, I was telling her to drop me off up the street. I couldn't be seen getting out of my mum's car outside Dunmurray Rack or wherever's ground. So yeah, drop me off up the street there and I'll walk down. But yeah, it was mad times thinking back to it. Like
But they obviously seen something. It's somebody's that are watching you or assessing you at the time, whether it's Snorri, like I don't know, assessors who would have been there at that stage, but like somebody's obviously seen something and thought like he's able to handle it. Whatever way you portrayed yourself in the pitch, or
must have, yeah. But they probably still knew in the back of their head he's going in here. He'll probably have it tough for a season, but it'll be good for him long term.
Yeah.
And thankfully, you know, you hear stories about referees getting assaulted and all this madness around the world. Thankfully, nothing like that ever happened. I don't think we actually have it too bad here in terms of stuff like that. You've got all the online, the usual stuff, but you see countries like, it's crazy what goes on. So I got through all those potential threats, if you like, going and doing those games at such a young age. But what an experience, you know, to be able to do that at that age, even for life. And I've said this before, that's the best life experience I could have ever got. Mm-hmm. Never mind refereeing. If I had to quit refereeing at, say, 20, see those 3 years doing that sort of football, it made me resilient. It made me think,
you're completely
I can do anything here.
Out of your comfort zone.
Exactly. See, if I can go and referee them games at 17, I can do anything.
Do you think, though, that that's probably what we're missing?
What do you mean?
Like the progression, the quick progression. They're trying to target kids who are maybe interested in refereeing and putting them into those scenarios because they're thinking now social media, they can see maybe what was said about them or the way people are, fans or family members or people shouting on and abuse and people kind of hiding. Like people aren't really built the same way.
No, I agree with you. I think potential young people to get involved in refereeing will see everything that's said about referees now on social media because it is so common in society. So they're actually seeing the abuse they're getting more. Yeah. So it's probably off-putting to them even thinking.
Or if they're watching a Premiership game,
yeah,
or like an Irish League game,
they're seeing everything. Something people right
wrong,
yeah,
seeing all the abuse that people have got because they've made a wrong decision. They're going like, what's the point?
Why would you start?
Especially at a young age, having that sort of mind frame to be like, if I get there, I'm still going to get abused every weekend. And
you could argue that people would get into it at that age for money, and that's fine. You know, someone starting at 16 or 17,
and there is good money to be made.
There is good money, but I think now they'll look at it and think there's easier money made somewhere else rather than standing getting soaked. And I think
what would they be getting like £30-40 a game,
probably £40-50 a game, yeah.
And then they can do sort of like a 9 o'clock kick off in the morning, 11:30.
Yeah, they could do
1 o'clock near enough.
Yeah, they could do a couple there. So, but I think they'll view it and think they can make easier money somewhere else. And I think it is a generational thing, as you touched on. Stand in the middle of mollusk, getting soaked through to the skin all day on a Saturday. You know, people maybe look at that now and think, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas you said they're built different now versus what they were in the past.
One of the things that we have to talk about, and I feel like it's essential because you're leaving. So obviously the news, probably most people know that you've probably, I don't know, do you hand in a resignation? Do you put like and be like, here, there's my work notice, and be like, I'm going to England to go Tennessee full time and that sort of stuff. But
it was something like that.
But in terms of that, right, you obviously have the ambition to try and make yourself better and get to the highest level. I have complete respect for it, and I wish you all the success.
Yeah.
But how does that impact our league? Because from the knowledge that I've been able to get through Snorri and Andrew Davey at the time, there's a very limited amount of referees that we have at that elite level who are capable of managing the games and getting through them. And then if we take out you, who's probably one of the most recognised and like our best near enough, because you're in Europe, you're VAR recognised, you're all this stuff to be qualified, it's a big loss.
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
Hey parents, how do you make smarter choices for your kids' college today? That's where Sally can help. With Sally, you can find scholarships, funding options, tools, and guidance all in one place. And if you need a loan, Sally has options for different families and different situations. College is only worth it if you do it right. So don't just help your kid go. Help them go smarter. Sally.com/GoParents.
Yeah,
Not that I want to blow smoke up your hole here, but I'm just being realistic.
No, I know what you mean. Yes, it is. You know, I've 18 years here, 9 years in the Irish League. So, yes, there's going to be experience lost, definitely. And actually, if you look back on the last few years, you've lost Raymond Krangle, Andrew Davey, Lee Tavender. These are just some that come to mind. Keith Kennedy, which is an awful sad case. There's others I can't think of myself. So there's a lot of experience going there in a short period of time, and it is going through a bit of a change now, where them gaps have to be filled by people coming through. But they'll obviously see them as being ready if they're coming through. But yeah, look, in terms of the opportunity for me, it just makes sense, and I'll be sad obviously to leave, but excited about what's to come and get into a new environment and see new grounds, see new teams, and see where that can take me.
In terms of moving across England, obviously there's huge aspirations to become full-time, which is fantastic. It gives you the platform to go and actually, as you say, make a career out of it. Like, who doesn't want to do their hobby as a job? Do you know what I mean? And a couple of people do get to live that, which is fantastic. Other people don't. But if you're not willing to move and have that mindset that you want to actually progress, it's never going to really happen for you. But
that's exactly it.
Where are you going? Whereabouts in England are you going to be based? What sort of leagues are you going to be involved in? And how does that look like travelling wise? Have you been given like a brochure to be like, this is what you're at there?
So I'm going to be based in Manchester.
Nice.
So what a city.
Good night out.
Yeah, good night out. That's the problem though, isn't it? So I'm going to be based in Manchester, and I am joining it's called the National Group. So it covers League 1, League 2 and the National League. So it's a group of referees, does them 3 leagues. So there's going to be a lot of travelling because that's the top to the bottom of England covered. So, I mean, I could be anywhere from, trying to think, Carlisle to, where's it, most south, Plymouth or something like that, or Exeter.
North? I don't even know.
Yeah, so you could be anywhere. They could send you anywhere. So, no, look, it'll be good. Seeing all these teams, you know, I think we grew up so ingrained in English football from a young age, so it's gonna be good, and I'm looking forward to it.
In terms of that, like, do they kind of branch you into like squads near enough? Does that make sense? Will you go with, like, I know here, like, if you're doing a game on Saturday, you'll have near enough your 2 linos, fourth official, and you kind of get used to each other, because then that's how each other knows, make decisions and make calls and trust each other.
No. And that's going to be so different for me because I've been working with the same 2 guys for the last 4 years. Yeah. So I could be working with anyone now. So it's kind of starting again for me, and that's going to be a challenge. But I could be working with anyone from anywhere. So I need to get to know a lot of people very, very quickly, and it'll be a big change. Because obviously you're used to even speaking on the comms during games. You have a way of dealing with people and us making the right decision between the team that I've been so used to now working
English banter's shy too. So like if you're trying to have a go or something, then they think something, they're like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, we have a different sense of humour, that's for sure. So yeah, it'll be strange, but I'll have to get used to it, you know.
How does it come about?
It was a couple of conversations. I have a few friends over there, so I just had a conversation with one of them, and he put me in touch with people that look after it, and a few things after another. Sounds like a player's transfer here, but that's literally how it went. And then I think they watched a few games, and then they made me an offer to come across. So that was it, really. It was pretty simple, to be honest.
I thought there would have been more in it.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't even. It wasn't even. And a large part of it is I actually have a business over there, so it wasn't necessarily just purely for refereeing. There's a few factors behind it, but in terms of that was simple. So yeah, and there was no problem.
One of the things, I've done a wee bit of research, and I haven't been able to get any pointers down. But what I have heard is that, and what I want to talk to you about as well is your international sort of career, like what that's like and how that works. But also now that you've transitioned out of Northern Ireland into England, you're no longer like viable to be at that level again because you have to start from start. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm kind of giving it up.
That's a bit shit. The fact that like, you're recognised in one country for being like you're still technically still part of England. You know?
Yeah, well, this is
weirdly not dealing with the politics.
No, I know. That's what's strange about it. There is no, for coaches and players, there's a clear pathway from Northern Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Clubs pick you up, make offers, you move, and that's it. Refereeing strange. It's kind of, it's not archaic. It's like there's no clear pathway for you to move to another country. It's hard explaining this to people. You stay in your country unless you move for like another reason, for example, to England, and then you request to them, or you say to them, I'm moving here, can you realign me to the appropriate level that you think I'm at? And then they make that decision. But there's no process of, I am transferring to this country. It doesn't work like that for refereeing. You see some guys sometimes going to the Middle East to do one-off games and then go home again. But in terms of a move, there is no process to it. There's no system that happens like that. So yeah, the international stuff. I'm connected to the IFA, so they nominate me, to FIFA to represent them on the FIFA list of referees. So with me leaving, I don't think it's going to be possible. So I'm kind of not back to square one because I'm going in at a good level in England. But
yeah, like because you've got so much more experience than anyone that you're probably going to be refereeing beside. In terms of you've been in international tournaments, you've had to step in on big games.
Yeah,
like you've done that religiously now for 4 or 5 years, near enough.
Yeah,
and you've been fully qualified in like Safar and stuff, and these people have never probably even had the chance to see it. Do you know what I mean?
No, they haven't. But at the same time, I'm going into a level, and you're the new kid in the block, you know, and you have to sort of prove your worth. None of that matters now.
Yeah,
none of it matters really, and I mean that. What I've done in the past, it's me in a group of I don't know how many referees now, and
you just have to.
Honestly, I'll just have to do well and hope that experience stands me in good stead for when I do start the games. But you know, come the end of the season, I'll be judged just against everyone else. It'll not be, but he's done this in the past. It'll not count for anything if you get me.
So if you have a few stinkers, they'll be like, he's fucking shite.
Could, yeah, that's the reality of it. So I just hope that and I'm confident that experience, those experiences that I've had, will help me go.
No, I think they will 100%. I just think that like there should be maybe like not a better system in place, but like it's kind of like you're playing the Premiership here, but then you have to go and start in the bottom of the pyramid to work your way up. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like if you're a player, you go into what team is near enough level with you or whatever team thinks that you're suitable.
Yeah.
But your credentials is like you're quite high up there.
Yeah, well I suppose they'll view the football I'm doing every week, which is here. I mean, where would you align the Irish League 2 in England? Because that was probably in there.
Probably like I would probably League 2, League 1 there enough, wouldn't you?
I don't know. I don't think so. I
don't think so. If you think about the people who go across from here,
that's a good point.
Who've played, most of them are going into that sort of caliber of teams.
But then they're the very best from here. If you were to look at the average across the board, where are we sitting?
But I mean,
I don't know the answer. I don't think there is an answer to that because I think there's some teams.
But then again, I would say if you're a referee that your credentials are better than what most players' credentials would be. Like you've consistently been at a higher level with more qualifications to do the job that you're actually doing.
Yeah.
So technically you should be going in at a different category than what a player should because it's really up to opinions. Yours is actually up to qualifications and experience.
Yeah. No, I get you. And look, I'm happy with the level they've
we need to speak to the FA.
Look, it's it is what it is, and no, I'm looking forward to it. As I said, seeing all these new grounds, and the thing is, I've been doing the same. If you think about it like this, the same 12 teams more or less for like the last 9 years. So I'm probably not going to see the same team twice now in a season.
And you've also grew up with near enough all the players.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you've kind of
that's going to be so
had
different.
Your career with their career, and then they're retiring, but you're going on.
Yeah,
that'll be nice.
And I'll obviously see a few Irish League players over there playing in
Yes.
League 2.
Like Roy Hill and Lee Bonus and all these people.
Exactly. So
that'll be nice too.
Yeah. So we'll see.
A few penalties given to Roy Hill. Just let me know what weekend it's on.
Right, is Rory Hill moved too?
Oh, sorry, Ronan.
He'll not forgive you for that.
He'll not, no. But Ronan's flat.
Yeah. No, he is. He's at Gillingham.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But that'll be cool.
That'll be good.
Say. It'll be like a new buzz because, well, as you say, you're traveling around, new stadiums, new atmospheres, bigger crowds.
A lot of driving.
And it'll be electric.
A lot of driving.
It will be. But it'll be worth it.
It will be, yeah. No, I agree.
One thing we have to speak about, right? Now that you're leaving, I want to get into the dirtiness of the Irish FA. I joke. I don't. I just want to...
You do, though?
No, I don't. I just want to talk about the sort of standard of referees in the Irish League. Now that there's obviously going to have to be a turnover of new people coming in and how that's going to look, because referees have been scrutinised widely in the last year. Big decisions were made. VAR was brought in to try and help out. Luckily, we didn't have to use it, but where do you think the idea of refereeing in this country is going? And do you think it's going to get better? Because I think there's less numbers wanting to be referees, and there's obviously a struggle now for you and all other referees to step up.
It's a difficult one to answer. I think the point I made about a lot of experience going so soon, I mean, you can't prepare for that. Like, nobody work at the IFA or anything like that could prepare for all these people leaving in a short period of time, especially for the reasons, me moving, Keith unfortunately passing away, and people retiring out of the blue. You can't prepare, albeit, yes, you could look at their age and think, okay, they will be going sometime soon. So it's going to need, the thing is, it needs money, and money doesn't grow on trees, as you know, but the refereeing department will need more money to try and get more people through the system. But if people don't want to be referees, then there's not much you can do, because it does start from the very beginning. It starts from how many referees can you get in, how many can start doing it, but the most important thing is how many can you keep, because we get loads of referees doing a course, and then they quit within 6 months. I'd actually love to see the numbers but it's staggering.
And is that due to, like, what do you think that is due to? Do you think that's due to
it's abuse?
The weather, the abuse?
It's abuse. I would say it's mostly abuse. I don't know for sure, but it'll be that. It'll be them going into it thinking with an open mind, and then they face the parents, and they think,
for
why?
30 quid.
Exactly. So that's a big problem. I don't know how you change that. I'm not sure. Do you change the match fees? It's not really that easy, because then teams don't have money, and so I think it all starts down there. We're definitely going through a transition phase now, but there's people there good enough to do it. But I do think it needs more investment from whoever to actually help with that. Whether it be, I know people have their opinions on VAR, but they've talked about that VAR Lite, which is I think it's FVS, is it?
Yeah. It's going to potentially be brought in at some stage.
Why not bring it in? It's
only used when you need it. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like a goal line near enough. It's like, it's there, but you don't use it through an open play unless it's something really needed.
Yeah, I don't know if you talked to Jared about it when he was on, but is it within budget? Like, can they do it?
I think that they're looking at potentially sponsorship for it. They'll be able to roll it out across,
Right, so...
And I think it's done in like smaller countries.
Yeah, it's
like Malta do it and stuff like that,
right.
And it's really worked quite well. But it's also kind of helped referees make decisions because players can be found out now. Do you know what I mean? So maybe that'll help solve problems.
Yeah. So let's see how that does if it comes in. I think given what Jared's like in these things, I'm pretty sure it'll definitely happen in the next couple of years. So that can only help referees, and if it means that it's a version that also is better for fans, then I mean it's a win-win for everyone. I don't know how you can view it any other way.
Whenever we talk about being an elite referee, and you're talking about putting money in from somewhere, and I agree that there needs to be more financial backing for referees within the league to be able to be elite, but how much money would be invested into you? Like, for you to be a UEFA referee and have the FAR qualifications, would that not all be funded from FIFA or UEFA to kind of help surely there can be more than 12 international referees in our league.
Well, there's four. There's
Yeah.
4 referees, and then there's you count the assistants as well.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking, like, why can they all? Why
Yeah.
can we not just have more people at that level? Is it finances?
So FIFA give us the number of people that we can have on the list based on a number of factors. So it's probably the quality of football. I don't know, but for example, in England there's 12 FIFA referees. I don't know if that's the number, but with 4 here. Spain, all the big countries will have more FIFA referees because I assume of the standard football they're refereeing week to week.
Yeah.
So they want more from that country involved in the international stuff. Obviously, they have to have a spread of all the countries because there's so many games and they need to always have someone neutral to do a game between 2 countries, for example, that someone third country comes in as a referee. So that can't really be changed. In terms of investment, somebody actually asked me this because I am leaving, how much investment someone's put into me. And probably quite a lot because it's 18 years of, some sort of money being spent on me, whether it's away in a training camp, whether it's for, I don't know, polar heart rate monitors or kit or training time by people. So probably quite a lot. And again, that probably goes back to your point of it's not easy to get someone through to the Irish League. I took 2008 till 2017 to do my first Irish League game. 9 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah,
and I people still say I was fast tracked, which is mad. 9 years. What other job would take that long? But I understand you need the experience to get to that level.
But when they say they fast tracked you, then if they talk about,
I'm saying people,
no, they say
teams
yes,
and fans and.
But I'm saying, like, if they were to fast track someone now, how quickly? Like, it would be less than 9 years. It would have to be because
It would have to be now, yeah.
Absolutely, it would be half.
It would,
if even.
And I know, I think in England they're doing a thing where ex-players can get there quicker. I don't know if we've introduced it here or not yet.
I think they're trying to. I think Miskie's
a good example, yeah.
A very good example for people who referee who are transitioning from a player, and he seems to be doing relatively well.
He is, yeah. But I still don't think he's moving that fast. He just got promoted there to PIL or whatever they're calling it next season. But he can referee in, I don't know, and maybe this is through his own choice, to be fair, I don't know, but he hasn't exactly went, in 3 years from starting to Irish League. There could be a number of factors behind that, but he's a good example, and he's doing well, knows the game well. I think he will referee in the Irish League, and I think he'll do really well. So is that a case study for getting more people like yourself involved in refereeing?
People keep wanting me to do it. Fuck that.
No?
Like, I don't think it's something that... I don't think that I would do well at it.
Why do you think that?
I think my own personality... Part of me, like... I feel like I'm too friendly with people. I feel like the reason why the podcast works is because I enjoy the conversations that I have with people. And if something bad came up and people started to start shouting at me, I would quickly switch. And I would be like, fuck you, you're not getting the next one. And I would have that mentality where I'd be like, don't speak to me like that. And then I think I would roll over. And then I just wouldn't want that to
Do you think so?
be brought into the game. Yeah. But and you also look at it going, like, a lot of people, but there's only so long that you're going to know these people before a fresh crowd of kids come through who don't give a fuck about you or who you are and don't even think you ever played. And then you're like, fuck you. Do you know what I mean?
But I bet you Misky thought that before he started refereeing too. I bet you Misky said exactly the same thing.
He should come on and have a conversation.
He should, yeah. That's a very good conversation to have, actually. But I agree with you on it's scary how quickly the players change over.
Yeah.
I look at teams, Irish League teams, and you could have 1 or 2 players left within the space of like 3 years.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Absolutely,
it's crazy. And you look at even, I don't know whether the managers will not suffer from that, but DJ is probably a wrong example because everyone will still know DJ, even the kids coming through. But someone maybe managing the Irish League, and there's kids coming through, and they've no idea who they were, where they played, anything like that.
Yeah,
that must be hard sometimes for them.
Do you know what was weird? The conversation that I had about 6 months ago? Maybe it was longer. It was an ex-referee, and I was like having a conversation to say, what do you think the league's going to be like, and with players, and how do you think it's going to go? And he says that pretty much the idea behind refereeing to him is so far different. Like, you can't do the same things, and the league's not as physical as what it was now, and there's a whole transition, and so I think that would also conflict with me. I think that I preferred the physical game.
So you think you'd let everything go?
I would want to see tackles. I genuinely would.
Yeah.
But I also think then that the fans would enjoy that. Like, there obviously has to be a very close balance with people potentially getting hurt.
Do you know
There's a difference.
a good example of that? Desi Lockery.
That's who it was. So I was sitting going...
Oh, was that who it was?
Yeah, I was sitting going, what do you think? And he's like, I just don't see it anymore.
Because I think, and I'm like, I could be wrong here, but I think that... did he say that?
Yeah.
And he
had it on the podcast, and he's probably one of the best guests to have on. He's hilarious.
He's so funny.
But at the same time, I was like, I just don't think... Because he's like, you should do it. Why not? And I know he got a lot of stick from the IFA, and he thinks that whatever happened. And that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would struggle. But then again, the rules that we have now in the Irish League are so different to the way you have to referee when you go to Europe.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting going like, you have to fucking do two different types of refereeing then. So if you want to become elite, you have to referee one way to suit one pot of fish, and then you have to go away and be scrutinised by a whole different pot of fish where you're like, I don't believe in that.
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
Yeah, I do think, and just on the Desi point, I think we do place, and this is more from a refereeing department side, and probably fans too, we place too much emphasis on ex-players guaranteed to be good referees. Like, we all think that, here, they know the game, you know.
That's the same as management.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same as refereeing too. See, if somebody hasn't played as a referee, you can't automatically rule them out to be terrible.
Yeah.
I only played for like 2 seasons at 11, 12. Hardly counts.
Yeah.
You know, so people maybe make that point to me and say, oh, well, you didn't play the game to a certain... See, now, to actually progress in the time it takes, you need to have called it pretty early in terms of life if you want to actually progress on. So you nearly can't have that experience of playing.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult one. Yes, ex-players can come in. They might not make it to the very top given the time frame, but I don't think you can just assume that any ex-player is going to make a good referee. Similarly, a referee having not played.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make it.
It also stands too for parents.
Yeah.
And I understand, and I'm probably an advocate for... You're saying that elite players coaching kids at the highest level, that's the way it should be, and they know the game. It's not fair to bracket that off completely.
Yeah.
Because there's parents out there who are fantastic coaches.
This is it.
And go in and manage and dedicate their time. And they're probably better than some of the actual players who have played the game, because, as you say, just because you played the game doesn't make you a good coach.
But look at even coaching in the Premier League. And ex-players versus guys coming in from complete obscurity. That if you look at their CV in terms of playing, you know, some Italian 3rd division reserve team, and all of a sudden there
was a kid recently.
It's crazy.
Was it not last year or the year before that was pretty much on FIFA, and then he ended up getting a manager's job in like Serie B,
right?
And then he ended up like doing really well, but he was fined because he had no badges and they were paying the fines, but he was winning every week. And I'm sitting going like, it does go to show it doesn't really matter.
I actually think it
but
is.
there's something, I don't know if that's like, don't hold me accountable, but
it might not be.
Definitely something where like a kid went in, did like a management job at like some random club.
Yeah.
And ended up doing really well, but he had no qualifications, no nothing, and he just played computer games, you know.
Yeah, well, even if that's not true, it proves a point though, doesn't it? That, you know, people, they're looking at more than just... I actually don't think they're placing that much emphasis on playing career in terms of coaching. I don't know what you think from your experience, but...
Well, I think now if you look at Northern Ireland as a whole, and you're looking at the likes of what you would classify as like the elite clubs, so Larne, Coleraine, Cliftonville. Cliftonville's academy is probably the best academy in the country. And you look at the structure that they have in place, I think Mark Smith oversees it all. I think Connor Pepper's the reserve manager. He's just went into the first team. You have Kieran O'Connor, who's on the podcast. His team's like the best Clintonville youth team ever, near enough. They're winning everything. And then they're bringing other ex-players in. Same as Lauren, like Josh Robinson's there, Albert Watson's there, all these different people. And then Dave McDade's now at Coleraine, Spike and Galty are at Linfield. You're sitting going, like, they're starting to transition. And I think most clubs are trying to go that way, where they're bringing players in. But I don't think it should fully go the whole way, because then that just cuts a line for parents who are dedicating their time, or maybe just pushing them down the ladder to say, well, why don't you take, like, you should actually probably have your best coaches doing the younger age groups, so that they can technically work with the players to come up, you know.
But do you not think there has to be a coach out there in amateur league or somewhere that has no real playing background but is unbelievable and will never get recognised, never get picked up by an Irish League team or a championship team? And I don't know if that's down to our backward thinking or just mindset that
100%.
You know, you nearly don't trust them because they haven't got this CV of playing in the Irish League, which I'm sure if you look right down all the coaches in the Irish League, they've all played in the Irish League or further. I can't think of an example of someone that's didn't have a...
It's finances too, as you touched on, like trying to help people out and better them by helping them through a coaching badge. Like, badges are fucking expensive for a certificate.
So I believe,
Do you know what I mean? And people who want to do the pro license are looking at 8 to 10 grand.
Is that what it is?
I think your A license was 2.5.
And do you have to pay that up front? Or do they do like a...
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But sometimes you get lucky,
them?
you get the club or you're part of your contract or whatever. I know most people start to think about it at the end if they say new deal, pay for it, and covers.
Negotiate that.
But if you're just a parent and you're working 9 to 5 and you've kids to bring to and you're going and traveling, not getting paid expenses, and you want to better yourself and you're dumping your own savings,
you're never doing
this.
Well, not never. If you're ambitious enough, you'll find a way to do it. But it's a hard decision, isn't it?
Difficult.
Yeah.
But then again, it's different because I think that there's no platform to progress. Whereas if you're a referee, they're looking at you and they're going, right, we can now move you up into this level because you've done really well and we've tracked that. Whereas, as you say, you could be sitting Ballymena Provincial League and you could be fantastic and then you want to move up, but there's no one going, we think that you should move up now because you're good enough. It's like, I'm not going to get another club because there's too many clubs and so it's such and such in there instead and I can't really get a move.
I actually want to hear about your opinion on the same idea of what we're talking about, but players and your experience of players coming through Irish League academies and like the ruthless nature of them not making it, or the ones getting across to England. What's really leading that? Is it their ability? Is it the connections? Well, I want you to tell me all about that from your experience, because I see it obviously, and there's definitely a lot more than just ability.
It's definitely a lot easier to go across now than it was 10 years ago.
Is that because of Brexit?
Yes.
Right.
So a lot of clubs obviously can't maybe reach out to a further distance, and then they're having to now focus again. Now, if you look at 20, 30 years ago, you would have always seen like elite players like Keith Gillespie. Say, these people are going to like top clubs like United early on, and they're progressing and they're having a fantastic career. He ended up playing at Newcastle.
Yeah.
He had a fantastic career. There's loads of people like that have went away to big clubs. Then for a long period of time, once probably the scouting system started to go to fucking South America, Brazil, Argentina, you're starting to pick up all these unbelievable footballers, and then you're able just to fly them across, pay them good wages. They were now your new academy because you can reach out. Brexit kind of swung that in a way where they now have to start looking back into the smaller nations, and you're starting to see more people go across at a younger age, which is fantastic. You should have the opportunity. Great. And if anything, it should make our country, personally, I think, a lot better, because if you have the coaching from young age, they're full-time, more hunger for it. But that doesn't say, as you touched on before, that that's the way it should work. People still come home, people don't cut the mustard, and then there's still a lot of people who get to 21, 22, 23 and only make that transition and end up staying and having a better career because they've been able to build up a life in Northern Ireland and got used to men's football. So,
do you think these teams, particularly in England, are signing these promising young players and kind of looking at it like, right, they can get away? I don't know now. Maybe they're paying more now than they would have got away with in the past, so that it is being recognised financially. But are they kind of taking a punt and going, right, he looks good, it's a safe enough bet, we'll take him in, pay X amount, still not a massive figure. he's either going to make it in our first team, probably the least likely thing. We're going to sell him on, or we're going to, well, I suppose it's the same thing, let him go. They're kind of looking at it like, we're not going to lose too much money here. Well, at least, for example, the big clubs, if player A is signing for that big club and then lets them go, surely there's a minimum price that they'll always get just because that player's played for that club, regardless of how they've done or their ability at that time, because they're an ex-Man United, Arsenal player. Will they get a certain transfer fee to, say, for example, League 1, League 2 team? So it's just pure business where they
potentially, like, if their contract runs out and they have to leave, then they probably won't get anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, for your investment, say you pay $100,000 for
good example,
a kid, and they're over there for 4 years. $25,000 a year is not really a lot of money to give a football club for a player who could potentially be the next big thing.
But that's what I'm saying. At the end of those 4 years, let's say it's Arsenal and they've decided, right, we're not going to.
I mean, $100,000 is a lot cheaper than $1 million for some 16-year-old from.
But surely at that stage, that 20-year-old they sell to another club. That looks attractive on the table, doesn't it? A 20-year-old ex-Arsenal.
Yes.
Surely they'll get $100,000.
If they sell on, like, how many people do you know from Northern Ireland have went to an elite club and then been sold down the way?
Sold, not really.
Exactly.
Loans, and then just released. Is that?
Yeah, pretty much. So then you're just out of contract, you're a free agent, so they're not going to make any money. But then the way I'm looking at that is, like, their actual overheads cost that initial investment of $100,000. Like, how many times could you spend? You could get 10 players, or you could get one. You could pay £1 million for this one kid, and it doesn't work out. Or you could pay $100,000 for 10 kids, and one of them hits.
And they're kind of looking at, they facilitate that team, that youth team that they have. You know, at least they've played for them for 4 years. It's filled the spot nearly.
Yeah.
I know they want them all to be
potential.
The next best players, but it is fascinating, isn't it, to see how they work now?
Absolutely, football's crazy at the moment,
and
the money, and it's scary signing fees, and
even these youth players at these Premier League clubs are earning mega money, are they?
Big money, yeah. Well, most clubs, like, go across, even for like a standard living, like if you go across to England, I think you're probably making 30-40 grand a year, 16, 17 maybe.
And that's on a scholarship, is it?
Not even earning that 9 to 5 at the minute. Like,
no, I know.
Alan, you need to fucking get the finger and get the sponsorship in. Try and help us out here.
He's telling me there's a few irons in the works.
These kids are doing all right. But listen, back to you.
Yes.
We went off on a tangent there.
We
right?
did.
You've been able to go to international level, which is fantastic. What was it like for you to be brought up into that category? Your first game on TV doing a country. Who was it? What was it like? Was it nervous? Was it different than doing your first Irish League game?
Yeah, I can't remember specifically the first game involving countries on TV, but first game was, I think, Kona's Key, and it was a Champions League first qualifying round. Kona's Key in Sarajevo. It was at Cardiff Stadium, so it wasn't really a full European game. You know, you're still doing a Welsh team, but it was incredible. I think it's something that once you start refereeing, it's the thing you work towards.
Yeah,
you know, it's your main aim. Not everyone gets to do it, so you're very lucky. It's the same idea as a player playing for their national team. It's the same thing for refereeing. So, you know, obviously you're honoured whenever you get onto the list, and then when you start getting games, it's amazing. You're representing the IFA Northern Ireland in these games, and yeah, you just want more and you just want more. And you know, it's obviously sad they'll probably not do it again here. But yeah, incredible experiences. Like, you can't really compare to your first my first Irish League game was Crusaders in Warren Point. What year were you playing for Warren Point?
2014 maybe.
This was 2017. You wouldn't have been there then, no. I'm just thinking if you maybe played in that game. Like, who was captain? Liam Bagnall?
I would have been there with Baxter, so yeah. If he went to Glenville after you, then there's a good chance that
we should check after.
He was there, yeah.
That was the CB. But yeah, you can't compare them. Obviously, each in their own right were incredible. You're getting to a new level, you're getting a new thing, and it's really good in that front. But see, I say this to people, the best experience I've had refereeing is not anything international, it's the Irish Cup final.
Okay, right, talk to me about
it.
Who was it?
Cliftonville Infield, 2024.
Right, okay.
The Ronan Hill game.
Yeah.
That's better than any international game I've had.
In fairness, though, that was the first time I've been at Windsor, and I've seen it in that state near enough. Like,
crazy, wasn't it?
Crazy.
I've never even seen it like as
Yeah.
just watching a game there. It was absolutely insane.
The
See
atmosphere was
pre-kickoff.
class, yeah. Flares and all were going up everywhere.
So didn't have anything like that in Europe. Had way like bigger crowds and stuff like that, but it's like flat.
Did you feel like it meant something to you as well?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It's a bit, having played. How many have you played in?
I played in two, 3.
So you know what it means to you playing in them. It's the same thing like going out to referee it. And I think given the fact it was, most people probably only referee an Irish Cup final once, twice. More than likely only going to be my only one now. And I just think this is two of the biggest teams here.
The
rivalry.
Yeah.
I don't think they had met in a long time in the Irish Cup final. So even a league game between them two, you know what it's like. And it was just insane. And then the way the game went too, sure, it was just, and there was no major mistakes, nothing like that. So just overall, I think the day, everything about it was just incredible, and it'll top anything I did internationally.
In terms of that game, whenever you're going out for it, do you change how you do things? Like, do you feel more, obviously you feel more pressure because the Irish Cup final. Do you, like, what's the right way to say this? Overthink situations because you're like, I'm so afraid of getting it wrong that it might potentially put you into a situation where you're like, I've made the fucking wrong decision?
No, maybe you think pre-match some things, but see once it starts, probably see playing,
you're just so
you're just it is just the next decision. You're just seeing things as you normally give them. You forget about the occasion and the crowd and everything. It's exactly the same as you experienced in playing in them, no doubt.
You've refereed for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can obviously remember some of the most horrific decisions that you've made. What's the worst decision you've ever made?
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
Stream the biggest moments in sports live on Fox One. The biggest names, the biggest games, the biggest matchups. Watch live or catch up on your schedule. At home or on the go, never miss a moment. All on Fox One. Stream now.
The worst decision? My goodness. Can't think. I got a penalty wrong. I missed a foul, and I was doing a UEFA Youth League game at Nantes in France. I'll show you it after, actually. Just player completely taken out. Like, it wasn't even a decision. Like, it was just a stonewall penalty, and don't know. I think I had moved on. I was looking at it and kind of moved on too fast to actually see the challenge being made, and see watching it back, you're just totally cringing. I actually could not believe how I didn't see it. And it's not even like it was, every game's important, and obviously that game was really important, both those teams, but it was just strange. Like, it wasn't a difficult game, or it wasn't a huge crowd or anything like that. It was just a normal game, and I don't know, for some reason, and thankfully there hasn't been too many of them, but yeah, probably that one. I can't think of any. There's probably just standard ones that people would still say is wrong if you showed 5 people it, but that one I just couldn't believe I got it wrong. Like,
do you know at the time you've made the wrong decision?
You've a gut feeling. I think,
like, if the play goes on, do you be like, fuck it?
Yeah, I would say 9 out of 10 times you'll know you've got it wrong. There'll always be that one time where you think you've got it wrong, and then you watch it back. Maybe the player reactions making you think that you've got it wrong. They're saying, oh, it's stonewall. And you can start to think then, oh, flip, maybe it is. And then you go and watch it back after the game. You're like, no, I got that right. And they're all telling me I got it horribly wrong.
On the Twitter, you're all a pack of cons.
But player reaction is usually a good indicator.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say 9 out of 10 times you'll know within a few seconds after it happened and be like, that's probably wrong. And
do you do the opposite though? If you make it a good decision, are you like, fuck, I made a good decision?
No, there's decisions you make where you know what you've seen, and you know players are coming to you complaining, and you're just so sure you've got it right. And then there's something in between where you give it and you think you have in your head what you've seen, but there's an element of doubt, being like, there is a chance that I have got that wrong and you're right, but you're still having to sort of portray that persona, that confidence.
Just go full.
And you have to believe. If you don't believe in the decisions you're making, then you're fucked. Like, you really have to, because then you look weak. And I think players pick up on that. You definitely know that. Like, you pick up on a referee that's not confident in their decision making. So there's times where you've given it and you're thinking in the back of your head, this is definitely wrong. But you have to just roll with it. And there's another decision to be made a few minutes later or a few seconds later, depending on the game. And then you just sort of assess it after and see, right, why did I get this wrong? Because obviously you want to be doing that too often, but we're all judged in the big decisions. So that is ultimately what it boils down to. I can much rather live with getting 10 throw-ins wrong, blatantly wrong at the halfway line, that don't really mean anything to the game. But if it's a penalty or a red card or something huge like that, especially in an important, like if it's towards the end of the game or if it decides the game, then those are the decisions where you make your money, like, really.
There's some things that I find really petty in football. And one of my biggest pet hates is when people shout because a player's taking a throw-in and they take an extra few steps. Right? So how do you see whenever you're a referee and you have to go back, and then they do it again and you're like that has to be like one of the most annoying, like, but stupid things, because then it's usually the management being like, it's not from there, it's from back there, and you're like, it's 3 steps.
The fans are the worst,
and it's like, it's
the
not,
fans are the worst for that one.
Now, if it comes and they end up throwing it down the line, crossing it and scoring, you're like, fuck, maybe. But does that ever come in the situation where you're like, who gives a fuck? Like, just play, like, 3 steps.
Let's be honest, Johnny. See throw-ins, especially in and around that halfway, I suppose halfway and defensive half. Does anyone ever take the throw-in in the right location?
No. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not going to turn around and go, no,
they
no,
always
no.
Be like, it's there, and they're shouting, and I'm like, what's the point in shouting?
It doesn't make it right, but I think everyone ends up taking a throw-in 2-3 yards, at least beyond where it is.
Absolutely.
And that's why, if you are putting them back, you're usually putting them back because you're allowing for them to take a run for the throw-in. Because if you take
6 steps,
if you put them back, they're never taking the throw-in at that point.
No, they're still running after it. Yeah.
So I think we need to look at it and think, big picture here,
It's so stupid.
And it's the same here. It's the same thing. If I give a free kick in the defensive third, and the goalkeeper, someone ends up taking it and he rolls it.
Oh, like spins it
a couple of, and someone's shouting at me 50 yards away, being like, he's moved that forward. I turn around and go, right, okay, what real impact does that yard have on you or me or anyone?
Like, you're still
is there an advantage?
You're still set up in the same position.
There's no advantage game.
Like, you're not having to drop 10 yards because he's rolled it an extra yard.
It's not 10 yards. It's not 15 yards. It's a yard. But I think fans are crazy for that too.
Fans are the worst for it, actually.
Fans, they'll shout more about that than a penalty decision.
Do you hear the fans abusing you? Like,
it depends where it is and what it is.
Okay,
but
well, who's the worst?
You more just hear noise.
Who's the worst?
I don't know. You tell me.
You're the referee.
You played in all of them.
No, I know, but I get it quite bad.
Look, every club has their fans. I'm not just copping. I genuinely mean that. It depends on how the game's going. Everyone will have their moment, but I think they do go more mad at the throw-in locations than the penalty area decisions. It's just a thing.
They just love it, don't they?
They love it. You must have wound up fans in your day. I say your day as if you're not still playing.
No, well, not back yet. But I mean, yes, I tried to, but I've also went the opposite, like fully went the opposite.
Why?
With fans. Just like sometimes, like, I don't mind. I got quite thick-skinned, but one time at Cliftonville, someone shouted, "McMurray, you're fatter than Jeffries," and it got me. I was fucking devastated. And
just because they were calling you fat, didn't matter who it was comparing.
Davey was big at the time.
Right.
And I was fucking devastated.
I'm surprised that you, like...
Kevin Braniff was running beside me being like, he's fucking done you up there. And I was running the solitude and I was like, he's fucking completely done me up there.
But I'm surprised that's not
I
something
think I had a beard at the time, maybe looked a wee bit fatter, but I wasn't that fat. But I was like,
but I thought it would take something more than that to get you.
I don't know. Maybe I was just having maybe I was emotional that day.
Because I hear that every week from, like, not to me, but I mean
to me. You mean
no? that's just me saying it. Me running past.
Pretend there's somebody pointing up.
No, but you hear that's a run of the mill thing shouted from the stand.
No, it is, and I don't know what it was that day, but I was like, I was
maybe it was just that day,
and then I was just like, I just heard it, and I was like, oh, bastard. And then I was like, about to turn back to say something. I was like, can you say?
Did it really get to you?
Just that day,
for the rest of the day,
the whole day. Just think about it. Braniff was just like, he's completely.
Were you home? Were you home looking in the mirror?
I would like, kind of was like, I need to get an underarm on here, so I'll get in.
Oh, I definitely do that. Get the Under Armour on here. It definitely helps, doesn't it?
It does. It holds
especially those bright colours of kids here. They don't help like that.
You have to suck in. Oh, in terms of management, like, there's probably good managers you've came across. There's probably managers that probably didn't maybe treat you the same way or whatever. But when you think about the influence that certain people may have, does that actually work? Do you know when they say, get the referee on your side? Like, go up, kind of, well, Jimmy, how are you? Give us a hug, good to see you, mate, blah, blah, blah. Psychologically, I think that people think that works, but I don't think that referees give a fuck. Like, as if that's going to influence a decision.
I think you could quickly tell if it is genuinely their personality or if they're doing it. They're just doing it to you.
But then with that, like, again, if somebody came up to me and I was a referee and was just trying to do that, thinking I'm going to give them a decision, I'd be like, I ain't giving you any fucking decision.
Yeah, well, obviously you have a mindset of you're not, but you appreciate someone with a personality that anytime you go to that team, you know what you're getting. Like, you know.
Do managers try, without saying names, have you had managers try and lick up? They'll be like, I'll try and butter him up here. Go the extra mile.
I could be naive here and just say I don't think so. Maybe in their head that's what they're doing, but no. And maybe if you ask them, like, they'll know that nothing.
I'm not going to ask any manager.
No, but nothing's changed. Like, nothing changes. We just appreciate it. And if somebody's gonna speak to you, and it's the same me giving it back to them. If they're gonna show a bit of personality and talk to you respectfully, we'll do the same. Like, we do. I know people say all this rubbish that we don't, but we do. Like, and you know there are referees. Like, a lot of them will speak to you, and a lot of them have banter. Mm-hmm. So there's this perception that we're all, don't speak to me, don't look at me, I'm going home.
You're very isolated.
We are isolated, and that's the thing. I think,
but it's probably in a way too. You kind of have to be, because you can't really be seen to be socialising too much, because.
But I still went into the club after every.
That's different. I think after
more or less every game, if possible.
So if
there was somewhere to go,
absolutely.
I went in, and you had the home team, sometimes the away team, sometimes not, and have a beer, have whatever, and you're talking to people when the game's done. Everyone's a bit more relaxed. No matter what's happened, you can talk about it and be like, well, thought that was a penalty. Well,
yeah.
I don't think it was, but here's why. Or I've seen it back here. You're right. And that for me was the best way. And I'd encourage anyone else to do that. It's the only opportunity you get, because what you said is right. We're so isolated. So why not take anything that you can get to try and
bridge the gap,
100%. Build some sort of relationship to go, he's actually in there having a pint with both teams there.
Yeah,
you know,
he's a normal person,
not this robot that everyone thinks we are. So I think that was a good thing. You're getting to speak to the chairman, you're getting to speak to the physio that's in there. People you never get to speak to, and maybe they'll turn around after you leave and go, he's all right.
Yeah.
And then that's what probably directs people's opinions on referees is more. I think it's more what they think of them as a person than their decisions, because you can forget about decisions, okay, maybe not big ones, but your idea of who's a good referee and who's not is, whether you like it or not, is probably more based on whether you like them as a person. Would you agree with that?
I would say there's an element to it, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so it is led by that.
Yeah.
Now, you can't be a terrible referee and just if someone's a great guy.
But then again, I think that's just normal life. Like,
yeah.
If someone's a knob, you're just going to be like, he's just a knob.
Yeah. But I think you get it easier if you get
I think
on with
that-
people, and
I think if you have decisions and you make a wrong decision and
Yeah.
you know it's wrong, people will be like, "Oh, you fucked up. Nothing you can do. Just move on."
yeah, and if
As
you
a player, but then again, saying that, I only done that towards the end. But that's probably because I wasn't as angry.
but is it because you're a bit
20
older and
year
you're a
old,
bit
probably
more life experience that you're like,
yeah, he's made a fucking decision there and he's got it wrong and shit happens. Like we all do it.
but I don't mind saying that, and I'll say it. That
But
player
that helps.
I'll say that player.
That
Jeez,
helps.
I have done that so many times, but not that many times where they're like,
But do you not
"There,
think-
hold on, he can't be wrong this much."
Do you not think though that if you held accountability for yourself after games, like if you made a decision and you were on, I can't really say Twitter, or if we had a platform to analyse the games and say something, then a day later or 2 days later you came out and said, "Fuck, I made a massive mistake. That's my fault. That probably should have been a penalty. I got it wrong. My position wasn't right." People would go, "You know, fair play to him for fucking doing that. That takes a set of balls." But you don't get that. Do you know what I mean? But then again, you could look at the other side that you don't get players doing that, being like, "Here, I shouldn't have made that tackle,"
good
and
point,
everything.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm like, there's just so much emphasis on referees.
There
But you
is.
just have the hardest job.
But here, don't get a mistake. Like we know when we do know when we've got it wrong.
Yeah.
I said to you within seconds, probably on the pitch. See after the game, you know, you don't need anyone to tell you that you've made a howler. You already know. But your point's right. We just don't have a platform to come out and say. And Lee Tavender did previously about what was it? Josh Carson incident.
Yes, he did on Twitter. Didn't he?
He did on Twitter, and then it just went into a big meltdown of a situation, and he was only doing the right thing.
Yeah,
at the time for him, that was his choice, and it's probably
I think that's
probably something I would end up doing too.
I think that stood by him though. I think from a personal point of view, people were like, "Here, fucking fair play to Lee."
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Now, from a governance point of view, it didn't.
It didn't.
No, like a level down. But then again, that just shows that there should be some sort of give and take within the association.
Yeah. What's your opinion on Ref Watch? Because that's probably the closest we've had to.
You mean Ref Watch or the one here? The one here?
Is that the same thing?
The Ref Watch in England, isn't there?
No, sorry, the Ref Watch here.
The one with Ref Watch
I thought
here.
you meant the Ref Watch here is on the spot.
I have very mixed reviews on Ref Watch here.
I want to hear your opinion as a ex-player, current player, whatever we call you at the minute.
Useless. For two different reasons. One, I had the idea a long time ago, spoke to Andrew Davey about it, and I wanted to work with Andrew around the idea that we should try and help referees.
Yeah.
And people need to have accountability. So we tried to bring it forward anyway. It didn't work with me for whatever reason, but Niffle done it. I don't think that there can be any accountability if you don't have a player. I think when you have two referees who have both refereed at the highest level, that's fantastic. But they're just looking at it from a referee's point of view.
It's a good point.
And you don't have a controversial point where, like, I'm a player and this is what I'd be doing at this time. So for me to hold somebody off and try and shield the ball, or for me to slide tackle at this stage to try and nudge that away, I think you would look at stuff differently, but it would also give a different perspective. And that's why I think that it doesn't work, and that's why I think that the comments are the way they are.
What is it in England?
I think it's called Ref Watch in England.
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month, even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending, 0 tears.
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
What's ours called?
Alan?
Is it Ref Watch?
Is it Ref Watch? Did you just copy it? I thought it was Ref Watch. Anyway, Ref Watch.
Anyway,
we could just go with Ref Watch.
So in England, there's a presenter there's an ex-referee. Is there a player as well there?
I think there's a player.
I think there is too. There's 3 of them, isn't there?
I just think that it gives...
I agree. No, that's a fair point.
Differentiation. I think that, like... And there's probably no more qualified person than Alan Snoddy to be able to deliver that.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, he's the right man to do it.
You just need another perspective.
I just think even if you got a different player in each week,
yeah,
they'll also have their own opinions, and then they can have that conversation. People just want the conversation.
Yeah, and at the end of each clip, they can go, right, okay, agree to disagree.
Yeah,
I think this.
Or imagine the player going, "You fucking got that bang on.
Yeah.
You're completely right," and then that gives accountability.
It's refreshing, isn't it?
And you're going, "Here's no one. He is right there," and then you're hearing why the player thinks that it's right.
Yeah,
and then also if referee goes, "We got that wrong," and you're right about your analysis on that, and we hold our hands up, that's what it should be. I think that would have worked a lot better. But when it's just 2 referees talking through challenges and kind of trying to give the laws of the game, like this is the laws of the game, people want the human side of the game because human factors come into every decision. Like you might see a tackle and go, he hasn't went in there to intentionally hurt someone, he's went in forcefully, so I'm not going to give a red card here. And I'll give him a yellow, but I'll let him know here you're very close to being sent off. Whereas the laws of the game are probably like, send them off. I think that's missing. I
never thought about it like that until you said that. And again, it's a player's perspective. I think parts of it have been good, but there was always something missing, and maybe that's what it is. It's someone with that different perspective, because I'm looking at it from a referee's point of view, and I suppose if I'm a referee, you're probably glad it's just those 2, because the player would probably have could have a different opinion, but I'm not saying that they definitely don't always back the decisions made. They have come out and said that some are wrong. But I understand what you're saying. There may be ones there where it does need that extra perspective to at least give people watching it more of a feeling that they're being heard, I guess.
But I also think that the person who comes into it has to understand the laws of the game too.
They do. Someone sensible.
Now, if you have somebody from 25 years ago who played in a very physical league and they're like, that's not a fucking foul.
Yeah.
Technically it is. And you need to understand that. So you need to have people who are up to date on it. But again, I think that...
Current player? I think a current player.
Yeah, I just think that like the human element of refereeing and players and the decisions that are made are always going to have an impact. Like, there's decisions that you'll make one week for the one challenge. And if that challenge happened the next week, you mightn't see it the exact same.
This is it. And then people call for inconsistency.
Like, yeah. It's not consistent, and I'm saying I know. Yeah, but it's 2 different sort of things. It might be the same challenge, but somebody's went in to fucking try and snap somebody's leg, and that person's went in to clearly try and win the ball. There's a difference. That's where I think that there's too much changes to refereeing, and this is why I like having the conversation with referees, because I don't think that the FA or whoever it is that comes up with these rules, or FIFA or whatever, that they change rules every year. And then it's like, oh, we've got the grips of this now. And it's like, oh, by the way, we're going to change this now.
And a lot coming in, like time wasting now for the new season.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen it at the World Cup. So,
well, your boy gets sent off the other night for covering his mouth.
Yeah.
Talking. Like, no, yes, fair enough. You don't know what he said. He could have said anything. But, like, I didn't know that was a rule until he gets sent off. And I'm like, what?
But the thing is, he will have known. So
he will, yes.
It was
stupid. But then you're sitting going, like what? Kids are doing that now. Like, if you go to a park on a Saturday and there's kids playing games, they're over a free kick
for the view,
talking to themselves, being like, "It's me hitting this one." Yeah. And they're like, do you know what I mean? Because they see all these like superstars doing this, and they think that this is like normal.
It's not what.
So, but there is a lot of decisions I think need to change. I don't know what the game's going to be like in like 5 years. Like, it's just so unpredictable in terms of the governance and what laws are going to be in, or what rules you're going to have to go by, or is offside still going to be the same offside, or I don't know. It just seems like it's forever fucking changing.
Where do you think you'll be in 5 years? Like, in terms of your everything you have got going on, podcast. I know you do media work. You're talking about coming back to play. How do you have a clear plan of what you want to do, or
a plan of what I would like to do?
Yeah.
I enjoy this more so than I ever thought that I would, and hosting and commentating is something that I thoroughly enjoy.
Would you say you're better at media than you were or are playing, in terms of? I know they can't. I know you can't compare
Bit of a
them.
dick move to put me on the spot like that. To be honest.
But do you think
Yes,
that
I
your
agree.
skills are
I do.
better? Do you?
I think that within a short period of time, I've got very comfortable.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm surprised at how good you've been at doing this, based on what I knew of you as a player, and it wasn't necessarily.
Okay, right. No, before we go any further, what did you think of me as a player?
See, to be fair,
Just be honest.
No,
like,
no, genuinely,
thick
and you need to remember this, right? You think of how many players we're coming across every season. It's not like, I think sometimes players think, oh, he absolutely hates me. He hates me. You know, he like, I'm up thinking about this player during the night. Like, I maybe come across you 2 or 3 times in a season. Hundreds of other players. So I don't really develop unless something happens that makes it stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I always knew you were kind of like a. You seem no, not even. You just seem good crack. I would say you're a great crack around the changing room. I don't know what people will say. I'm sure that's.
I think I'm funny too.
Yeah, good crack around the changing room. Didn't know if you always took it serious.
Fair.
I don't know if that's right or wrong. Maybe it was just later in your career when I was refereeing you.
Also, when I was probably shade.
But that was my Me and you never had any run-ins.
No, definitely
nothing stands
I haven't
out.
really had many run-ins with many people.
I didn't think so.
Especially refereeing. I mean, there's a lot of good personalities in referees.
Yeah. But I didn't see this side of you.
But I don't think anyone did because I
don't think it did.
And without Alan, I would never have done it. Like,
yeah.
If I didn't do my knee and Alan make me come in here 2 weeks after, like I would never have been here.
Yeah.
And I would have just put it off and continued to put it off. But it's been like a blessing because it's helped confidence. Like the way I speak now and how I've had to like articulate your voice and how you say things to people.
Yeah.
It's a lot different than I would have been. I've hosted live events. I've say hosting TV gigs, doing the commentary stuff. Like it's something that I've looked at and thought I would love to be a pundit, but you're never going to be a Gary Neville or whatever. But I would love to have the opportunity to do that.
Well, why not? Why not?
No, I do.
Because that goes back to the exact same thing we said about.
But I think if you want something hard enough, you'll try and get there. But I'm also extremely interested in the business side of football. I don't think I ever want to manage. A lot of people wanted me to go into management, and I don't know if I want to do that as such because I enjoy the idea of running a football club and understanding the financial aspect, sort of player identification, talent ID, and trying to get the right people to build your club up. Again, how do you do that without experience? You kind of have to get experience from somewhere. So I'm always thinking about trying to start now because I know there's only 5 years left. Or 4 years left, potentially of playing. Like there's a cap on how long you usually go to.
How old are you now?
31. So if I do go back, you're looking at maybe another 2 or 3 years. Might get you by. The podcast, I'm hoping will stay for a very, very long time.
How many interviews have you done now?
I'm going to say
Alan.
maybe 60.
60?
Maybe 50, 60? 50.
That's mad. When did you start?
Just over a year. So last March.
That's some mad consistency.
So yeah, near enough once a week we've had, I would say maybe 6 or 7 weeks where we haven't dropped a pod.
Because I'm sure there's a mad stat for people starting podcasts and not
delivering.
Not existing.
I love it.
Not existing after a month. They've done 3 episodes. So for you to have racked up 50, it's not going away.
But I love it because not that I'm very nosy, but I'm just very interested in people's careers.
Yeah.
But I also want to publicise the good aspect of people, and I think people feel very confident doing it with me, which is extremely nice.
Well, I did speak to Jared, and he said that it was largely down to you as a person that he doesn't really do that type of interview. So I don't think he would have done it with someone else. I think it was down to you, and I think he had enough to see.
But I hope that people's opinions. Now, the first video that went out in the comments where I was like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Now, these are people who listen to it.
Seen you replying
These
to a
are
couple.
probably a pack of cunts at times, but I was like, give the fella a break.
Yeah.
Because I do think that he is trying to do things. He's probably not going to do everything right. And there's probably things that I won't agree with what Jared does. But I think the way Jared wants the league to progress he's happy to take the gamble.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't pay off, he'll put his hand up and say, "No, fucking made a mistake." But he'll hold accountability for himself. But I also think that, like, in terms of what we're getting, the product that we have, I do think it's a lot better. Now, if it wasn't better and Jared was in charge for 5 years, I'd be saying, right, Jared, time for you to fucking go. And I would say he would agree to having that conversation with you.
But if you were to look at Niffle, did he come in when it just started, or was it?
Well, he's been there five years. I'm not too sure who was in before him now.
Like, there's definitely been a huge amount of
But
progress.
there's been a huge, like, you think about the investment alone. Like,
people can argue whatever they want, but
he's just signed a over £1 million deal with, I think it's Regan. Like, she's fantastic at her job, doing commercially, and for you to get £1 million in the Niffle, what that's going to do and potentially give players and prize money for clubs and whatever it is. The way I compare it is Windsor Park has been renamed Clearwater. That was 800 grand over 8 years, and Niffle just signed a deal for 3 years from it. So
I couldn't believe that deal when it happened.
But there could I. Now I try to get Jared to answer that question, but Jared being Jared, he didn't want to, which is fair. I mean, don't put yourself in a position where you're potentially going to say the wrong thing. I don't want that either. But if somebody thinks that they're getting 100 grand a year for 8 years or whatever it may be, or very close to, it's not a massive deal considering that's your national stadium. To me, anyway.
Or did they view it as their first name and sponsor? Just
the Kingspan paid $4 million for 4 years or something for the rugby, I think, or something very close to that.
But why would they commit to, what was it, 8 years?
8 years.
Why would they commit to 8 years?
Damn it.
It's a strange one, isn't it?
No, it's fantastic for Clearwater. So, fair play to Clearwater.
It's a deal of the century.
If you want to sponsor on the spot podcast over 8 years, fucking hell. But I mean, yeah, like fair dues.
That's insane.
Yeah, I think that what Jared does, and
I think he's misunderstood.
I've never had the best relationship with Jared. I think I've made that clear. Like, when Jared was a chairman of Clivenville, we did not see eye to eye whatsoever, and that was primarily because Jared had a job to do, and I wanted to play for Clivenville. That was my club. Was I ever going to play in hindsight? Not a fucking hope. I mean, Chris Cannell just retired. Liam Boyce was backfiring. Joe Gormley is, without doubt, probably one of the best centre forwards to grace the Irish League. Two of them together were frightening. And then you had people behind. Jay Donnelly was there. He was fantastic at the time. We were two young kids, and Jay kind of played off the left. But Tiernan Mulvena was there. There was a load of other people who had way more experience than I did. I was only 18. So I was like,
okay,
why the fuck are you not giving me my chance, and I want a contract and all this? And Jared was just like, no. Ruthless. He was very young at the time too, but that was my reason. But when you grow up, you're like, you just done what was right for the club. You didn't see the potential at the time, so fair enough. But I think that he deserves more credit than he gets, and I think hopefully after that conversation people will start to see what the person's like, because there is a person there.
He's misunderstood.
Yes.
He definitely is, and I think I know him relatively well, and there is a person there. It's probably like referees too. You need to hear from these people, behind the scenes, and understand he's never going to win no matter what he does, and that's where there's a bit of similarity to what I do.
But I just don't know, one, who you would put in there who would have done a better job up to now. We don't know. That's the $100 million question. You don't know. Two, the people who write the comments are completely entitled to their opinion. Would they know how to run a football league? No, probably not. Would I? No, definitely not.
No.
So I wouldn't be in a situation to have a go. But then people want a certain brand of football, and I get that. So I love you all. Don't fucking stop listening to the podcast. But sometimes I disagree with them, and sometimes I agree with them.
Yeah.
But yes, I think George's fantastic. Hopefully he does more for the league. Hopefully he does more games, targets that outer audience in Australia and America, which seems to be really
Well, he's doing friendlies now too, so...
He's doing friendlies now. Hopefully he does that Linfield Limavady game that was put back. That'll be interesting. So
yes.
That'll be quite funny. But
that is a good one.
And as I say, I enjoy it. I love it. I love doing these conversations. I love speaking to people, seeing the deeper side of people. There's been a lot of tears, there's been a lot of fun, a lot of conversations, a lot of very intriguing conversations too with people who I've never heard of or met.
I know, I was worried. I said, I was worried coming in here seeing
that
these.
We were going to need those. No, thank fuck. Last week was enough for a guy here, but thank you. It's good to have a wee break, but it's also nice to get the old tears out too, you know.
No, it is. And I go back to what I said you make people feel comfortable, and I think that's why it ends up getting emotional a lot of times, more than not.
I'm glad that you,
because of you,
haven't needed to use the tissue.
Time yet.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you very much for a pleasure of a conversation.
Appreciate it, Johnny.
Nice on hugs, bro.
Yeah,
let's go.
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
I wrote a little song to remind you, Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Cocktails up here feel just right. Is Cambria amazing? All right. Bring a date, your team, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com. See you on the roof.
Good luck. Oh, yeah. I wish you all success in England. I wish I was there with you. Maybe I will be. Maybe I'll be commentating on one of your games, being like, that referee's a fucking on you.
I thought you were going to say playing.
No, you have to give up in the dream sometimes. Join us next week on the On the Spot Football Podcast for another fantastic guest. See you soon.